We're always excited about new frontiers in audio here at Minidisc, and today we're going to be looking at three of them. The flagship Frontier series of IEMs from US-based brand Fur Audio. The range starts with the 4-driver Neon 4, moves up to the 5-driver Krypton 5, and tops out with the, you guessed it, 6-driver Xenon 6. Each earphone in the range comes in a beautiful metal finish, with the Neon 4 and Krypton 5 featuring aluminium ear shells, and the top-of-the-line Xenon 6 featuring this glitzy gold stainless steel finish. All three IEMs feature attractive sapphire glass faceplates, and you can tell immediately that these IEMs are the crown jewels of Fur Audio's range. Making an appearance again is the atom venting system, which we mentioned in our VXV review as being similar to 64 Audio's Apex module system. A valve in the earphone that is designed to relieve pressure and ensure long-term wearing comfort. For the Frontier series, the atom vent is modular and interchangeable, allowing you to tune the sound of the IEM by choosing a different module. Compared to the 64 Audio Apex system, where each module is quite different, the three modules that come with each Frontier series earphone differ by only a few decibels each, meaning that you can quite finely tune each IEM with slightly more or less bass and slightly more or less isolation. Another unique feature to the Frontier series is something you may already have noticed, this very large 10mm low-frequency bone conduction driver that directly radiates low-frequency bass to your inner ear bones rather than through your eardrum. As you might imagine, this gives these Fur Audio IEMs a truly unique bass presentation, which we'll get to later in this video. Now, the Frontier series may be very glamorous and shiny, but Fur Audio is also quite a practically minded company. You can see this in the beautiful metal earpieces of each model, which, despite their heavier weight, are still quite comfortable and balanced thanks to their smooth shape and longer nozzles. There's also a bunch of small details that demonstrate an attention to durability and serviceability for these IEMs. For instance, the 2-pin connectors on each earphone are reinforced and rated to withstand up to 1,000 disconnections without getting loose. The nozzle on the filter features a retaining ring that keeps the filters securely in place but can be easily removed for filter replacement. The standard cable of these IEMs is a robust but lightweight 8-wire affair and comes as standard with a 4.4mm balanced termination. All of these features help the Frontier series stand out in an increasingly crowded field of multi-kilobuck IEMs. We find that at this price range, past 2,000 Australian dollars, we have collectors and enthusiasts who want to fill specific niches in their IEM collections, and people aren't necessarily looking for a safe all-round tuning. Well, if you wanted an IEM that delivers a truly astounding sense of scale and depth for genres like pop music, hip-hop, EDM, house music, these earphones should be at the very top of your shortlist. The Frontier series is bassy. The bone conduction drivers are definitely doing their job, and the first thing that hits you about the sound of these IEMs is just how big the bass feels, like it was coming through from full-sized headphones rather than just in your ears. The most neutral sounding model in this lineup, the Krypton 5, is bassier than the bassiest model in the 64 Audio lineup, the Neo. I would go so far as to say that these are audiophile basshead IEMs, and unlike IEMs with more aggressive V-shaped tunings like the Empire Ears Legend X, the Frontier series IEMs also have smoother mid-range and treble. This means that these IEMs are basically perfect for more aggressive recordings and genres, but you'll find some vocals sound recessed and slightly dulled. But the devil is in the details, so let's drill down into the differences between these three models. The Neon 4 features 3 balanced armature drivers and 1 bone conduction driver. This is the most fun sounding in the range, with a little bit of a spicy edge to the highs that makes things sound crispy and immediate despite lower mid-range vocals being somewhat recessed. I believe the Neon 4 will already satisfy a lot of people's needs for a fun, forgiving IEM. My only criticism of the sound is that sometimes with the slight rawness of the highs and somewhat recessed presence region in the mid-range, the Neon 4 can sound a bit incoherent, and note timbre for acoustic instruments isn't as natural as it could be. The Krypton 5 adds one more balanced armature driver for the mid-range, and it's probably the most tonally neutral IEM in the Frontier series. Once again, highs are slightly edgy, with a little bit less of a gap in the upper mids, but lower mid-range is still a bit recessed. This is probably the closest to an all-rounder in the lineup. Now, I still think that the highs on the Krypton 5 have a slight hardness and glare to them, so my comments about slightly unnatural note timbre apply here as well. Lastly, we come to the top of the heap, the Xenon 6, and oh boy, this one is a doozy. The Xenon 6 adds an electrostatic driver for super high frequencies to the mix, but the result isn't necessarily what you would expect, because along with the extended highs, Fur Audio has tuned down the edgy peak of the BA drivers. The result is an IEM with smooth and extended highs that presents quiet detail and a wide soundstage. This is the most laid back of the Frontier series range, and it actually took me a while to wrap my head around the sound of this model, because it really is quite dark sounding. After spending some time with it, it's actually become my favorite in the lineup. The Xenon 6 has the most natural note timbre for real instruments, and this IEM has a way of putting you on a pounding dance floor or a smoky jazz club while staying immersive and unfatiguing with track after track. I think you'll be able to tell quite quickly from my descriptions whether or not any of these Fur Audio Frontier series IEMs is right for you. If you want an amazingly deep and grandiose sense of bass presentation, you should listen to these. This is Lachlan for Minidisc TV, and we'll see you next time.